home. Yeah.
Call my son.
Okay, cool. Well, this could affect you. All right. So I'm Andrew Horton. You might know me as Urban Adventurer. I'm a security consultant at securityassessment.com, where I do a lot of penetration testing. I like to make security tools, and recently I got an Arduino, and I learned a little bit about electronics and hardware hacking. So what I want to talk to you about is home entry points, how to break into houses, how garage door openers work, types, and how to hack them. So you've got a typical house you want to break into, right? Doors, pretty well-known security issues. Lock picking, key bumping, forcing the frame open. Windows, the glass is vulnerable to smashing, right? And then you've got an electronic device controlled by a radio signal. And, security issues aren't really well known about this. So I had to play with it. So, okay, so you've got this mechanical device in your garage, right? And it gets a signal, it opens, it gets a signal again, it closes. Some of them have got other safety features, if it hits something, it'll stop. There's not really much to it. And garage door openers have been around for a while. Back in 1931, created, just sent a signal on a specific frequency, and even popular science magazines speculated if you can tune into the right frequency, you can open it. And there was a problem because if your neighbour had one too, then you could open your door and vice versa. But it was advertised as, more secure. And the most common type in New Zealand today was developed around the 1970s. So if any of you have your garage door opener on you now, check and see if it's got dip switches inside of it to set the code. So it sends out on one frequency, the code is set for the dip switches, and it's very unlikely you're going to open your neighbour's door. And of course it's advertised as more secure. And since then, we've got better garage door openers. There's billions of different combinations, rolling codes. We've got to brute force the recent ones. It's a lot like keyless car entry systems, or at least the high-end ones. And the type I'm looking at, the type I'm hacking, is the Alcina ones. And this is the type that you've probably got at home. And there's over 1 million in Australasia, and it provides maximum security. So that's got to be good, right? Okay, so it's secure and it's popular. It transmits on the same frequency as radio-controlled cars. And the code is set with those dip switches you see there. So I've got an Arduino, and I wanted a project to sort of learn how to use it. So I took, I went through the tutorials, learned a little bit about electronics, and realised I could emulate the dip switches with this Arduino device. I could sort of cut off the bank of dip switches and just, hook up wires where each dip switch would have been. And this one here is 12 dip switches, so that's only 4,000 combinations. So this is what I made. Look at the Arduino, right? And all those wires are going across to where the dip switch used to be, and I cut it off. And we can see the transmitter, that sort of solenoid looking thing on the end of the garage door opener. Got an LCD bank, so I can LED bank, so I can see the progress, and so on. So here it is outside this house I wanted to burgle. And it lights up pretty cool. You get the blue light off the garage door opener itself. This is sped up a little. You can see a sort of progress going. It's on the dash. And it's going to go through all the different codes. And eventually, I'm going to be able to open that garage door. And I can control it through a USB cable on my laptop. So I can see the current code, I can pause it. Let's say it opens, I can pause it, steal stuff, then reverse it and close it again. It's going to open any second now. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so then it's just a matter of stealing stuff and putting it in the back of your van. So these devices are used to control garage doors, but they're also used to control other things as well, like lights. Let's say there's a bunch of lights in an apartment building, and you can turn them on and off. That's cool. On some of them, you've got 4 different buttons, A, B, C, and D, and what they do is they take the last 2 bits, and they use those last 2 bits to get 4 different combinations. You can have 4 sets of lights controlled off the one transmitter. And it's used for gates. Gates in expensive homes, gated communities, airports, and personal alarms for old people, so they fall over and they'll get some help. And when people are carrying cash, they've often got alarms like push this button if someone's holding them at gunpoint or something. So I can set these things off. That'd be funny. Yeah, so that's basically it. Yeah, so please go home, have a look at your garage door opener, and just check. If it's set with dip switches, then you're fucked. But the good news is that those modern ones I talked about, yeah, you can replace it for about $300-400. It's not a problem. Just go to Mighty 10, Bunnings, whatever. Yeah. Okay, so what's my time like? Okay. And there's another project I did recently. This is just a couple of projects I've done this year.